Well, I didn't want it to come to this, folks, but it looks like the United States is going to be launching an invasion into Syria. And as you can see, this invasion is going to be hitting the Syrian coast. We are actually in charge of a United States Marine Corps recon team. We're supposed to, of course, get on that coast and try and locate as many of these locations as possible. We've got to touch the beach objectives and NAI 3 in order to recon those locations, and we have to try and occupy all OPs if possible. Obviously, in this battle, unlike many of them, we actually need to try to avoid enemy contacts. That's not exactly going to be something easy. I don't think so anyway. But here we go. We've got those scout squads to look at that on either side. And again, the goal is to get into these locations, get into NAI 03, QP, OP 103, OP 104, etc. And pretty much just keep these guys alive as well as call in these locations. Well, these scout marines know what they're doing, but of course, anytime we move into this area, we could undergo some enemy fire pretty quickly. So I'm going to keep things fairly simple. I'll keep the scout team and the leadership team together. The HQ team, I should say. And I'll keep this scout team over here, first squad, together. So I'll kind of try to separate them out between the two along the map. It looks like directly ahead of us here in the middle, in the center, we might have some enemies. So what I'm going to do is just hunt to this location. There's no good cover, but the goal is to make it to that tree line. Although, if the enemy knew anything, that's exactly where they would head to. So we're going to grab these guys. With them, we're also going to hunt to White 2 North. And then we're going to just hunt into that little oasis there to try and remain alive. Here we go, guys. First move of our scout infantry. And this is my first time actually doing a scout-based mission. We usually like to do full-out attacks in this game, but I really want to see how these guys deal with some night vision and just with the challenge of trying to get into the city at this time. Oh! Right, we got White 2 South. It could even be our artillery. We're not entirely sure the state of the conflict right now, but I'm almost certain that is our arty. White 2 Center has been located as well, and White 2 North will be grabbed pretty soon. At that point, we have got to try and get to that central location, OP 104, and potentially hold out in that area. As you can see, this is a 2-hour-long operation. This is definitely an invasion, in every single sense of the word. So we're going to be fighting for this city for hours. That's for sure. Oh, 2 hours, not 4. I had to. I couldn't help myself, folks. Here we go. Once again, I think these guys are fine here. It's not really what we're looking for. So I'm going to leapfrog across the street and get to level 1 of this building. We'll do the same with the commander here. Although since they're moving, we've got to move with the scouts as well. So let's go ahead, just cancel that. And quick move with the scouts. Let's get to level 1 of this building, right? And then we're going to hunt into this building. So as we get to this area, sort of, let's call it the 2nd Avenue of the city, I definitely want to be a little bit careful. I don't know what the hell that is, but okay. We'll pretend we didn't see that. And I'm going to have them hunt into this area here. So hopefully we can have a scout squad with the ability to provide some supporting fire from there. I'll keep these guys doing exactly what they're doing. Don't want to mess with them too much. And let's get over here to our actual main scout squad. Here we go, folks. Scout Marines, lead the way. You never know where they're going to pop up, although we do have potential technical contacts right here. Obviously, if we make contact, though, the enemy's going to know where we are in the city. It's not one of those situations where we want to stay put. We want to get the hell out of there. Execute an evac, basically. Here we go. Perfect time for them to actually start hunting. This actually worked out pretty well. I thought they would get there late, but this seems like it's going to work out pretty well for that approach. So far, not a single contact, guys. Not a single shot fired, and that's actually how we want it. We're going to keep on going because these guys still need to hunt forward. There's that Marine scout team. Come on, boys. Let's get over here. I'm seeing a potential contact there. It's just an enemy vehicle, or just a taxi cab really destroyed in the middle of the city. But that could be a lot of different things. Could be an IED, could be a barricade. You just never know. Right, not too bad there. I'm gonna grab these guys. That's right, we gotta move them one at a time. Otherwise, we're gonna move the whole damn squad. So I'm just gonna move them into level 1. We know this is a safe location. Move the commanders into level 1. You know, I'm getting a Black Hawk 2. Black Hawk Down, I should say, vibe here. I was at Shock Force 2. Just because moving across the city here, we never know when we're gonna make contact, but we know when we do, it's gonna get messy, it's gonna get loud, etc. Now we've got this group right here, this scout team. I see no reason why they can't be helpful in this situation, but really right now the best thing they can do is just stay put. I mean, there's no way to get over here. There's a river, so we would have to approach that building right there. I'm almost certain that building is occupied, so I don't think I'm going to do it. However, we could also call in some artillery with that scout. Without knowing precisely where the target is, though, that would be a complete waste of arty. So let's do this. Now, this is where things get dangerous. We could either proceed forward over here, or we could try and get into the complex. I'm going to proceed forward. So let's just quick move. I think the enemy is just too focused on the artillery strikes to really even bother looking for us, which would be great for us, assuming that's the case. Here we go, boys. Here we go. Man, be careful out here. City has one massive mosque over here, and of course the government building on the left. A lot of different landmarks that the enemy could use as an HQ. Oh, I heard a gunshot. Had to be incidental because... Oh, that's right. Alright, so I guess these guys were pushing forward. I didn't think I ordered them forward, but I guess the hunt maneuver continued past the woods. And of course, they are under heavy fire. And I mean heavy fire. So while that's going on, we want to take advantage, and we want to keep moving forward with this team. They're already pushing forward, and then we'll also push them into this building. Level 1. Do the same with the leader squad. We're going to move into this building, level 1, and the same with the scout squad. Really, it seems that it's this team on the far right that's going to be providing most of the... or are going to be completing most of the mission objectives, let's say. But now that those guys are making contact, I really want to bring these guys in to assist. So I'm going to make a big risk here. I know for sure that that's not a technical. I'm going to try and get this infantry unit into that building and get a flank attack on the enemy. Look at that. We already got a penetrating hit with our Marines right there. They're continuing forward, trying to make it to the building, I suppose. Yeah, so they are going straight for that building. Fair enough. I don't recall giving that order, but you know what? I probably did, knowing my crazy offensive approach to most games. I probably gave it and didn't cancel it. Because they're going actually for one of the central buildings, so I think they're going to try to actually cross here. Unbelievable, man. These guys have balls. Of course, keep in mind, we have night vision goggles. The enemy does not. So we do have a little bit of a surprise here as we approach. But we got unbelievably lucky on this attack. Look at that. Got Syrian troops on the run. And I mean absolutely on the run here, man. We are the ones coming out on top in that gunfight. We've got to find a way to get out of this. So what I'm probably going to do is just run to that building. Although from what I can see, there's barbed wire in front. There could certainly be units patrolling. What I find amazing is we still have not made contact here on the right, but at least in the center, contact has been established. Alright guys, we just got some support, and in this case, it's an additional howitzer. Knowing that there are so many enemies right there, I'm really tempted to call in a howitzer strike on the enemies. But again, we can't leave this guy out here. He's going to get vaporized. So we're going to quick move halfway, and then I'm going to hunt the rest of the way. The good news is that it looks like our Air Force has wiped out most of the bunker targets, but there's definitely still going to be enemies over here, without a shadow of a doubt. And let's not forget, we're now moving this scout team into this building, so we could absolutely come into contact right here. I'm going to get those guys right there. We could even call in air support, or I should say howitzer support, on this location. Always important. We got to recheck these movements non-stop because the commanders are making very strange movements on their own. Let's do that. Let's do that. See, he was also going to go over there to the far right. Thankfully, we stopped that. And again, continue forward with the scout team. And then I'm going to hunt to this this madrasa area here. Alright, I think that's it. Let's go. I get a feeling we're going to start taking contact very soon, because we are approaching where the enemy was firing at our other unit over here. Lucky it's a little harder to see at night, but look at that. Yeah, no, our scouts are engaging. We're going to have to pay attention to both fights here and go back and check them out. But absolutely, it looks like our scout units have started to engage here on the far left side. Getting some pretty nice shots here, although they are, of course, firing at two different locations. We can see these Syrians starting to move from building to building. That's right, man. Keep their focus here. And look at that. Some Syrian units making it out of the compound over there. This actually was a pretty good location for us to be in. The reason being is we've got those two different fields of fire. So that's beautiful. What we are going to have to do, though, is go back and take a look at the other unit and see how they did. Look at that, even killing the guy directly ahead of us, man. That is beautiful. Alright, here we go. So, of course, our first scout team trying to get to cover. It looks like they have gotten down. I mean, they were in a bad spot to begin with, but obviously if we can get them to that cover location, that would be huge. Here we go, scout team getting into that building. They will be also hunting forward, but right now my biggest goal is just to get these guys into that building, man. They've only got one casualty. If we could keep it at that, that would be huge. So I think the actual placement of these units was pretty good. Also because I think these guys that were heading out of the building were heading out to get a better shot on our men right there. Although either way, we've got enemy machine guns trained on these men. It's not a pretty sight. I would like to continue pushing forward, but one thing I've learned with combat mission, and just gotten a little better at the game, is that in most cases, you want to give it like another 2-3 turns, and just let our guys use this location as a firing location on the enemy. We could also call in howitzers on, you know, like that building, for instance. That's an option. But overall, I think the best approach in this game is kind of to stay put if you can risk it. And seeing as we've got 2 hours to finish this battle, I think we can risk it. Now, what I am going to do, I am going to pop some smoke here. And after we're done popping smoke, I am just going to slow move, which is pretty much a crawl into level 1 of this building. Alright, we can deal with that. That's fine, too. Let's actually quick move to level 3 with the commander. I don't want to go to the roof. You almost never want to go to the roof in this battle, because, again, if your guys spot anything, they're going to open fire, and preferably, we don't want to have the enemy spot us at all. In fact, I'm going to cancel that, and I'm just going to quick move to the first floor. Let's not get crazy here. Alright, boys. Doing great so far. Keep up the good work. Here we go, man. Marines lead the way. Oh, hell. Alright, we already got contact. Was not expecting that. Would not have ordered the move otherwise. And it seems to be coming from that mosque. I told you guys, those landmark buildings are concerning, man. And that's why. You see, like, they've got a few units in there. Here we go. Oh, boy. We actually are going to have contacts with guys next door. This really is turning into Black Hawk Down or Stalingrad or any number of different siege battles. Get him! Get him! Marines are trying to shoot through the wall. There we go. He's down. He is down. Good shooting. And now we've got this squad over here. The scout squad is under fire. I love that. They are under heavy fire. Let's back up over here. We're kind of watching 2 battles at the same time here. And I wonder if these guys managed to get any more hits. I didn't hear any gunfire coming over from the left side. So over here, we might want to start moving forward. Obviously, always a risk when you do that, but I'm going to grab this unit. I'll keep... Actually, sorry, I'll keep the observers here. Grab the scout unit, and I'm going to hunt in... Actually, I won't even hunt. I'll go for just a quick move. So we want to try to make our location, get there quickly, and get the hell out. And these guys are still moving. Not a single one of them has been targeted yet. Again, if we want to, we could call in some howitzers. But I think for now, we can hold on. What I probably need to do, though, we could, of course, keep the mosque under fire. Although I'm guessing that's not the correct approach here. The correct approach is to have a much stronger position here. And if we have these 2 buildings and they try to overrun us, it's going to be very difficult for them to do so. So getting those units there, I think, is important. It's amazing that these are the only units we have, man. The Scout Marines, at least for the first stage of this fight. And we're going to treat this like just like any other Combat Mission Shock Force 2 video, where if you want to see the next part, get up to 500 views, and we will make it happen. Yeah, they might not be able to move, man. See, I just got through saying sometimes it's best to stay put, and I'm thinking here, I probably should have done the same thing. Although I think, since I did the hunt maneuver, yeah, they're not moving. So they have contacts, that's why they're continuing to fire. Even as far away as all the way across the river there, man, we're having contacts. Alright, let's take a look at the scouts. So far, they're fine, not a single shot. And once we actually get into the hospital, I'm calling this one the hospital. This kind of looks like one. That's when we will decide what to do. Yep, already taking shots from that building. Get in there, son. He's a beefy boy. A little bit of a beefy boy. But there we go, they did make it to the building. I'm glad I didn't bring both units, though. But now we're in a gunfight with an enemy HQ unit, and they have RPGs. They just took out one of our men. Never a good thing. Never, ever a good thing. Now, we either push deeper into the hospital, or we start to focus on the enemy leader HQ here. I almost want to call in some howitzers now. So let's do a point target. Strike that building. Heavy. Long. Personnel. 5 minutes. I wish I could do immediate, but in these situations, immediate just never works. I'm going to assault into level 1 of the hospital here. Actually, let's assault to level 2 of the hospital. There we go. Get a bit of overwatch on the enemy there. And it looks like they're almost in that building, man. They still haven't popped smoke. I'm just going to have them pop smoke, period. So let's just... yeah, just pop smoke. And let's get these guys across. Here we go, man. Move, boys. Oh, that's right. We're going to keep them in place for one more turn. That's right. That's right. Might as well, especially since we're still contacting enemies over there. And now that we're seeing trenches, it's making me wonder, do they have additional guys in here too? Maybe they do. Good shooting, boys. Nice. See what the guys on the left are doing. All right, getting inside the hospital. I like that. See if that's a wound or a kill. So that's our first death. Yeah, we got one guy killed, one guy wounded so far. But it looks like the leaders have been pretty quiet. They didn't try to return fire there. In fact, it's our guys from the second floor here firing down on the enemy over here. So I'm not sure if we shot them out, if we killed them. I know we killed a few over here in front of the building. But is it possible they've given up already? That they don't want to keep on fighting? I think it's unlikely.
Roger. Fire mission request. Out.
Alright, they got the fire mission request. And sure enough, just being up here, guys, look at that. We've got locations on enemy trenches. We could obviously call in howitzers on those trenches as well. Although I think the first thing before we do that is to get the observer into a better location. I don't know if we should be moving him as we're calling in a howitzer strike. Probably not. But I'm going to try to get him to level 2 where our other unit is. And we're going to have to do the quick move. Even though we could take shots from the mosque, let's do the quick move, get into level 1 of this building. I can hear the damn bullets breaking the sound barrier over here. I'm going to keep this guy right here because I'm sure they're expecting us to get up and move, and I want to have them focus on this unit for now. Let's really make this unit cause a problem. They already are. Look at that, man. Got some enemies on the roof. They are not going to last long. Yeah! Good shooting. The loader's still alive, though. And he could pick up that sniper rifle and still be a threat. But I like this location right now, and I'm hoping we'll scare the leaders here into running out. Looks like the unit is pinned. Amazing. So that's superior marine gunfire, baby. Got him pinned. Now that we have the observers here, we could even call in another howitzer strike. Maybe even target that building. In fact, you can see the guys on top there. They're having a bit of trouble fighting our marines. Let's see, did they make it across? They did. I'm just going to back up a bit, guys, so we can see that movement. Make sure they didn't take any sort of hits. And it looks like they're just fine, although I believe across the road, yeah, we got one guy alive, but the loader and the assistant loader are dead. And we're getting really close, guys, to OP-104 and OP-103. Those are, of course, the objectives we have to take to get a victory here. NA-103 is also going to be an objective we have to take in this area. but we won't worry about that one just yet. A lot of different locations, guys, that these scouts have to make it to be able to call in proper airstrikes. Well, look, even if they're going to get shot at, we can't leave this last group here. We just can't leave them out here. The smoke is dissipating as well, so I'm just going to rush them into one. A big chance, very, very high chance that they're going to get shot at, but we can't worry about it. Now, as for these guys, I am so tempted to call in a second howitzer strike right there on that point target. We know there's a lot of enemies in there. We don't even necessarily have to attack this area, but maybe it's a little too early to be calling in point targets. You know what I mean? I think it might be. I think actually what we might need to do is start moving out, but we are not moving anywhere until that howitzer strike gets here. As for the guys over here, I feel like we are dominating the battlefield for the most part. I don't want to push our luck, though, so I'm going to hunt forward. If we contact anybody, our men will immediately respond. I'm also going to move across the street here with our HQ squad and with our observer team. Let's just make it happen. Here we go, boys. I'm barely making it across the street, just barely. Yeah, I don't see any contact so far. Maybe we're okay after all. Let's pull back and let's see if those guys actually got into the building, and it looks like they're in there without issue. All right, maybe I need to get a little more aggressive. Maybe we're being too cautious, although, like I said, we seem to have all the time in the world in this particular scenario. For a second there, I was thinking maybe we got an enemy vehicle destroyed, but nope, it's just good old-fashioned pop smoke. But as for this unit, yeah, we'll absolutely move them out.
Sir, we spotted an enemy unit.
Oh!
Enemy unit ahead.
Hold on a second now. Is that a enemy vehicle? Nope, nope, nope. Just incidental taxi fire. Alright, well that makes it clear. We've got to push. Now, I can't push with the observer. I don't think I can. In fact, if somebody could tell us in the comments below if you can push with an observer when you're already, you know, calling in a target, if that's even a wise decision. I doubt it is. Now, the reason I hesitate to go to this building is if we got enemies here and here, we're going to get shot at immediately. I think the safest, it's not even that safe, but the best building to go to is going to be this one. There's also an HQ squad in there, so if we take out the enemy leader, the enemy officer, I think that's going to work out in our favor. Now, since these guys have already gotten into a nice little gunfight here, this might be the correct place to call in that second howitzer. I feel pretty confident, but I'd prefer to hit the area and instead of just the building. Not that big of an area, but something like that. Fire support request 2, heavy, long, and again, personnel. As far as I can tell, we don't have any armor to work with. And given some time, we might even change that particular fire mission. I'm not sure I'm 100% comfortable with it. Let's keep going. Right where that enemy vehicle may be. We're going to OP-104, and we are going together. So come on, guys. With the exception of the observer, I'll keep the observer team here to provide some cover. But the leader and the standard USMC squad, we want them across the street here. Thank goodness we lit that mosque up quite a bit, because I'm hoping we took out all of the fighters inside, but not taking out the fighters at this building, of course. So, let's see if they make it across. One of them actually fell back. Might have a bit of a separated squad. No, one down. One is down. Come on, boys. Move across. Move across. Get into that damn building. Ooh. We're doing good, though. We're doing good. We're not hit. This guy's to get the hell off the street, though. I don't know what he's thinking. He is either an idiot or a beast. And actually, no. He did get he get hit? No, he got in. He is a beast. Watch this, guys. Just completely destroyed that truck with one shot. And yeah, look at that. That is a confirmation that the government troops are working with the Mujahideen, because we can actually see them over here. We just took them out. Great shooting by our men.
Flash, over. Flash.
Also calling in flash shots with the howitzer. But for that, you're going to have to wait for the next episode. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Absolute perfect placement there by our boys, and it looks like the infantry, the Syrian infantry team just decided to get the hell out of here and retreat to another building. But I'm amazed we made it across with just one casualty, and hopefully from here we fight our way to victory. You know what you got to do if you want to see the next part, and thank you so much for watching, folks.